I'm just going to take this one. This one broke earlier, so that's my excuse for eating it. And I'm just going to give it a little try now. They are really nice. The middle is quite soft and the outside is really crunchy. Hi everyone and welcome back to Gigi's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis and in today's video I want to share with you how to make some really delicious Blender chocolate chip cookies. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make some really delicious chocolate chip cookie balls. So this recipe is really easy to do, and I thought that these would make a really nice gift for a relative or friend. I recently made some of these for my friend and she really enjoyed them. I've also made them for my family and they really enjoyed them too. We love having biscuits in the house. We love a little sweet treat every so often, or sometimes we have these after dinner as well. So for this recipe I'm going to be using a blender. I'm going to blend all of my ingredients, and I find this one of the quickest and easiest ways to make cookies now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 large eggs that I've already cracked, and I'm going to put those into my blender cup. And then I'm going to add about 150 grams of sugar to that. I'm using coconut sugar. Coconut sugar will hopefully give it a really quite caramelly taste. If you can't get coconut sugar, then brown sugar will do. And I'm going to blend these ingredients together now. I've blended those ingredients for about 30 seconds or so, and they've blended well together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 150 grams of ghee. You can use unsalted butter if you want to, or if you're a vegan you could use coconut oil with this as well. And I'm just going to pour that into my blender cup, and then I'm going to blend those ingredients together. Again, I've blended those until they're smooth. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I'll blend it again with the teaspoon of vanilla extract in. So I'm just going to put the lid back on. I'm going to blend this again. I'm now going to add the dry ingredients in. So in this bowl here I have about 200 grams of almond flour that I'm just going to pop into the blender cup, and then I also have about 100 grams of almond protein powder that I'm going to add in, and then I've also got about 100 grams of rice flour here as well. I'm just going to pop in. You could use tapioca starch if you haven't got rice flour, or you could try plain flour. I have a slight gluten intolerance, which is why I always try making cookies with things like almond flour. But if you wanted to try this with plain flour, then you could. And then I'm going to add in some bicarbonate of soda, and let me know how that goes if you do try it with plain flour in the comments section below as well. And then I'm also going to add in a couple of teaspoons of baking powder as well. And then I've got a pinch of salt here. I'm just going to add in, well, a bit bigger than a pinch of salt, probably about half a teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to blend those ingredients together. I've blended everything together until a big dough ball has been formed, and I'm just going to take the blade out from the cup like so. And I'm going to pop the biscuit mixture into this bowl, and I'm going to add to this mixture the chocolate chip cookies. You don't have to make them into chocolate chip cookies if you don't want to. My son absolutely loves chocolate chip cookies, and I nearly didn't have any for this recipe. I got about half a bag out of him before he ate the lot. We couldn't get any on the delivery shop the other day. We have to wait to go to a different supermarket before we can get some more, and he was munching his way through, and I hid these from him in my chocolate box, which I thought was quite clever. And now what I'm going to do, as I said, is I am just going to mix these ingredients together, and then I'll start to form the chocolate chip cookie balls. So I'm just going to continue to mix the chocolate chips into the dough. I have mixed the chocolate chips into the biscuit dough, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the biscuit balls. So I'm just grabbing a piece of the dough and I'm just rolling it between my hands. I have dampened my hands before I began this process. I find that if I dampen my hands, the mixture doesn't tend to stick to it. So I do that with meat and all sorts of other things as well. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll know I like to do that. And then I'm just rolling them between the palms of my hands, like so. And then I'm just putting them on this plate. And after I've finished rolling all of the mixture, I'm going to put these into the fridge. Now, I like to put them in the fridge because I find that the outside goes nice and crunchy and the inside will stay lovely and soft. So I always like to put them in the fridge, and I'm going to preheat my oven to about 200 degrees while these stay in the fridge. And then once the oven has preheated, I will pop these into the, once the oven is preheated, I will pop them into the oven. It should take about half an hour for my oven to fully preheat. It's quite old and quite slow. So if you wanted a time range of how long you should leave these in the fridge, I would probably say about half an hour, to be honest. So yes, I'm just going to continue to keep rolling the mixture until I've used up all of the dough. I have finished making the biscuit balls, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to pop these into the fridge for about 25 to 30 minutes while my oven preheats on about 200 degrees. As you can see, I have transferred the biscuit balls to the baking trays, and I'm going to pop these into the oven. So while my oven was preheating, I popped the baking trays in at the same time. Then I removed them and I put the biscuit balls on. These are Pampered Chef stoneware baking trays, so I don't need to grease these at all. These are real non-stick, they're stoneware, so they help to absorb the badness from the food and only leave the goodness. And they don't need any oil on them, but if you need to oil your baking trays, then please do. And I'm going to pop these biscuit balls into the oven now for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then I'll see how they are. The biscuits have been in the oven for about 8 minutes and they have gone a lovely golden brown colour, so I'm going to take these out and leave them to cool. Once they've cooled, I will try one and let you know how it tastes, but these smell amazing right now. I can't wait to give these a go. These have been on the cooling rack. They haven't cooled completely, but they smell so good. I can't resist. These are making me really hungry, I have to say. And my husband has just shouted down from upstairs, "What's that really nice smell?" And I said, "Oh, I've just baked some cookies." He was like, "Oh, they smell really good." So I am really looking forward to trying one of these. I'm just going to take this one. This one broke earlier, so that's my excuse for eating it. And I'm just going to give it a little try now. They are really nice. The middle is quite soft and the outside is really crunchy, which is really yummy. They're really sweet but really delicious at the same time, so yes, I'm looking forward to a couple of these as a sweet treat this afternoon. That's how you make these delicious Blender chocolate chip cookies, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be having a couple of these with a cup of tea this afternoon, and they smell and taste so good I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!